This is prototype A for my app Travel Goals, and it's specifically for college students who have at least minimum wage jobs. So this is going to be the screen that you open on, and you can either log in or you can make a new account, and then it's going to take you to a login screen, but we're going to skip that. Second page has a navigation, has your profile, home page, your goal page, and your expense. So when you start, you want to set your new travel goal, and then it's going to take you to this page, and it's going to say, where do you want to travel to? And it has a little search bar, and then it's going to bring down a drop-down menu. So you're going to scroll and pick whatever place you want to travel to if you don't already have one in mind. Or if you do have one in mind, it'll have a little keyboard, and you can type in, and then it'll say you want to travel there in either 12 months or 18 months. We're going to choose 12 months. And then the next page you get to, it'll say great choice, you picked Italy, and it says what do you want to explore in Italy, and it'll fill in the blank for whichever country you picked. And it'll give you a drop-down menu of tourist things to see in that country, so and you can scroll through it, pick as many as you want, and then you click done, and then it's going to total that amount of expenses. Okay, this next page is going to give you hotel and flight information. So to figure out the best time to travel to that country. So it's going to say for Italy, January has the best plane ticket round trip pricing for $830. And then for the best price, like housing while you're there, it's going to give you different hostels, like if you're going to Europe, and it'll say how much per day. And then this next screen is going to say for your trip to Italy, it will have calculated all of the flight expenses, the hotel expenses for whatever you picked, and all of the expenses for all the tourist things you're going to do, and it also factors in extra money for when you're buying food while you're there and merchandise and things like that. For your trip to Italy, you need to save about $1335 in 1 year. So then you're going to click next, and then this next screen is going to introduce a little mascot. So it's going to say great goal, and then click next. So then after, it's going to automatically take you to your input expenses page, and then you're going to put in your spending per month. And the first thing you put in is I make, let's say, $16.40 a month. And then you put in all of your different expenses, and it's going to be like a scroll so that you can keep adding however many expenses you have, and it'll have a little keyboard come up so you can type it in. When you're done, it'll say your total spending per month has been like $15.50, and then you click done. And then the next page, it tells you your spending plan that it calculated. It says at the top, it will save $120 per month. And it'll say one of the things you can do is cut back $5 a month on groceries, and then it'll say how, and it'll give you a solution. And it'll say, and you can shop here, and it'll tell you like the cheapest grocery store for some items. And then it'll also say you should also cut back $10 in eating out a month. And then you can click save plan, and it will save your plan and give you notifications, or you can change it. It brings you to the last screen. So this is the change plan screen, and it's going to say this is not recommended in order to meet your travel goals. But if it's not possible for you or you don't want to, you can change the goal. So it'll have like a keyboard come up and it'll say you can fill in, you can cut back only this much a month on groceries, or you cut back only this much a month on eating out. And then you can save it. And then once you save either spending plan, it will just send you daily notifications to motivate you. Okay, so this is prototype B of my app Travel Goals. So this is going to be the home screen, and it has a little motivational bird on it. And you're going to click get started. And then the first thing it's going to have you do is create your profile this time. So you can click to add an image from your gallery. You can write your name and then make a username, and you can save it, and then if you ever want to go back, you can edit it later. It will take you to the home screen. So it'll say hello, and then you can have navigation. It has profile, home, your trip, and then your finances. And you can click to view your spending plan or view your progress. I'm going to click first to finances. So it's going to take you to this page. It says my finances, and it's going to ask how much do you make per month, and in this example I put like $16.40. And then it's going to have a drop down menu, and you can pick and use the keyboard to input how much you're spending in each category, like housing, groceries, insurance, gas, going out, things like that. And then when you're done, you click done. So the next page is going to be called My Trip, and you're going to say that you want to pick a trip, travel somewhere, so you can either search it and there's going to be a drop-down menu and you can choose Italy, or there will be like a keyboard that you can type what country you want. And then you're going to say, I'm going to go there in about 12 months or 18 months. In this example, we're going to do 12 months. Okay, next it's going to take you to this page, which is good news. We found the lowest prices for flights and hotels for Italy. And it'll say like flight round trip is this much, cheapest one, and then hotel option. The cheapest one is this, and you can try to find another one if you'd rather. And then you can do Explore Italy, and it's going to ask, what do you want to do in Italy? So if you have to pay for museums or other things, it will pull it up, and you can scroll through and choose them, and it'll add it to your expenses. And you can click done, and it'll calculate your expenses. Next, it will take you to this page, which says my trip to Italy, and then it'll say you need to save about $13.35 in 12 months, and it has a little motivational burn. It says you can do it. And then if you click this button, it'll take you to my savings plan, so it'll give you an idea of how to save all that money. The next screen is my savings plan, and it'll give you advice on how to save money for the trip, and it'll give you a tip, something like that. And then it'll say your total savings, you can save $120 a month, which is the goal in order to make your full savings. And this includes the leftover money from how much you make in your job and all of your expenses, plus you saving here. You can click save, and then it will bring you to this screen, which has a motivational bird. It's a hummingbird. It says, hi, I'm Jill, your goal motivator. And it says, receive notifications to remind you to reach your goal. You can say turn on notifications or not now, which is not recommended, but you say turn on notifications. And then on the previous page, if you were to say you don't want to save your savings plan and you want to change it, it will bring you to this screen. So this is the change plan screen. It says this is not recommended to meet your travel goal, but you can still change it. So you can type in, instead of cutting back this much a month of groceries, I'm going to cut back this much. Same for eating out, and then you can click save, and then you can go to the home screen. And then once you're on your home screen again, now that you've input your financials and your trip and what you want to do, you can go back and view your savings plan if you want to, just to remind yourself. Or you can click on view your progress, which will take you to this page. It has your progress. You can pick over the month or weekly, and you input your savings. So month one, I saved $120 a month, and you'd write that down with the keyboard that comes up. And then you put that in for each month, and it'll save it. And then it'll say you're almost there, and it'll have a little progress bar. So it'll show your goal, and then so far you saved like $900, and that's the second prototype. One question I have is, do you think all of the pages are necessary, and do you think the inclusion of the motivational mascot is useful?